Okay, I'm using my motion tracker phone holder to record this. So now we'll talk about what's this topic? Let's see. Okay, this is just pro tips here. To survive something like this, you gotta be you know, in the movies you always see the old man with crazy hair in the park screaming at pigeons. We kind of gotta go there. The amount of talking to myself in hospital. Oh my god. If I spoke it out aloud, people will think I'm insane. So it started, it basically started in Vegas, but I'll talk about the second hospital. So as soon as I arrived back in Australia, and I was fully paralyzed, completely paralyzed, all four limbs, full quadriplegia. I started my plan. Because in Vegas I was really, really sick. I had pneumonia, I had a tube in my neck and I had to suction out every few hours. I was on heavy, heavy drugs, hydromorphone. So I couldn't really do much back in the US. As soon as I arrived back in Australia, I implemented. I really don't even know how I knew about this, but it's just instinct, you know. My life has given me some of these skills. So in Westmead, what I did was, right from the day I got back, I started brainwashing myself. I told myself every single night, and I knew, like I said, a lot of this is instinct. I knew there's no way I could walk out of Westmead, the second hospital. I was so fucked up, I was so paralyzed. So I started telling myself every single night, walk out of the next hospital or die in there. Only two options, walk out or get carried out in a box. So I kept on brainwashing myself all night. At the whole time I was trying to move my arm, you know, trying to break. I really don't even know how that started. I was just stubborn. I said, fuck this. I kept on saying to myself, I'm too young. I do not want to die a quadriplegic. And I kept on just brainwashing myself over and over. In Westmead, it was basically just brainwashing myself to give myself no options. Walk out of the next hospital or die in there. Simple as that. And, you know, it's not like, you know, it's a 10-minute brainwash. It's hours, the whole night. You know, I didn't have TV. I was the only one in the room. I couldn't use my hands, so I couldn't play on my phone. So all I had was my mind. And that's what I used to fight back with. Using my mind to try to force my body to move. Just in the beginning, just the right arm, and just every single night, I just try to move it. And when I got to the next hospital, I had to use this other line a lot because fuck, things was hard. It was really, really hard. Someone with full quadriplegia, at that stage, I could move a bit of my arms, but the legs were still pretty much dead. And the exercises was killing me, was absolutely killing me. So this is the line I kept on repeating in my head over and over. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger, especially while I was doing the exercises. And you know, fuck, was it hard. Oh my God, was it hard. But you know, I've said it in my other, I think the Never Give Up video, where I wrote a long post. walking out of hospital, when I arrived in such a damaged state, oh my God, I felt like I was a real life superhero. I felt so fucking good because I put everything into it, heart, soul, everything into it. And I achieved it. I walked out, you know. So, you know, everything was worth it. This is when I talk to people like Jonas, and you know, they've got pretty bad injuries too. But you know, I don't know. My personality will just got. I've said it before. I'll say it again. During my journey, it always felt like, oh my God, my life on this earth until this point has just been giving me lessons, teaching me how to deal with this massive hurdle I had to climb. Yeah, I you know I try to think back how I know about these. I really don't know. It was this instinct. Instinct kicked in, and another thing in hospital, which you know, is that every person I speak to, I tell them this is a physical condition, but it can only be beaten on the mental side. The only way you can win this battle is on the mental side. So in hospital, and it was freaking hard as hell. The whole time I was there, doing hours and hours of exercise each single day. Every time the physio, in the beginning, he's probably saying, Tom, can you do 10 reps? When I was fully fucked up, paralyzed. And the answer was always the same, I'll try. And even when he came up with crazy ones, can you do 100 reps? And then inside I'm thinking, oh my God, but the reply was always the same, I'll try. And because I never said, oh, are you kidding me? That's too much. The brain was always, try. Everything was try. The answer was always the same. I never replied any other answer. I'll say, I'll try. And he asked for 100, I'll fucking push out 100, and I'll push out extra 10. Just for good measure. And that's another thing I instinctively knew. In hospitals, in Australian hospital, where there's public hospitals. So it's not it's universal healthcare. But they have to have a reason to keep you there. If you're not improving or if you're not doing anything, they'll kick you out. They'll discharge you. So I always knew my best chances of walking was staying in the hospital as long as I could. And how would I do that? I would let everyone else talk for me. The physios, the nurses, the doctors, the OTs. I would work my ass off, and any word that any of those people ever had to say about me was always positive. My God, this guy works hard, And because I was in hospitals for so long, and I got close with everyone. And at the last hospital, there was a lot of physiotherapist students come through. Every 4 weeks, a new batch comes through. And because I'm pretty much the only person in the hospital working their ass off, everyone's, oh, I'm in pain today, I'm tired. I'm the only one doing 4 hours a day, going crazy, pushing hard as hell. And so common, not, because I was close with all the physio students. And in St. Joseph, every Tuesday they had a staff meeting. So it's the doctors, the nurses, the physios, and they try to let the students in so that they can experience what it's like in the hospital. And can't even tell how many times one of the physio students came back from the meeting. He goes, Tom, do you know what the meeting was about today? It was about you again. I cannot even tell you how many students came. different students, you know. And another cool story. So I can't remember which. There was a whole batch of students, physio students, and they, you know, so they have a 4 week placement, and this girl, I think her name was Taran, from Australian Catholic University, I think. And she, the trainer of the physios, he assigned her to me, and she had me for about 3 weeks. And because when you at that stage of your, you know, life, of your profession, you're looking to get inspired, right? And everyone else in the hospital is, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it. And there's only me that is pushing like crazy. And Taran had me for 3 weeks. And then at the last week, the trainer for the physios, he assigned another student to me. You know, I think it was Matt. I'm not sure his name. And then the day he assigned another student to me, and I saw Taran on the other side of the gym, you know, working with some guy on the exercise bed. Oh my God, she was fucking pissed off. She goes, "Why did you know, take Tom away from me?" And then it was the first time I walked in hospital. It was with a whole bunch of also ACU students. I still remember most of them. It was Tom. He had the same name as me. And there was a Matt, and I think there was a Julia, and then there was another Egyptian guy. I can't remember his name. And the very first time I walked, there was 4 physios. It wasn't even a walking machine. It was like a big pneumatic machine for standing, huge thing with wheels. And the trainer guy, Kenny, man, I have such good memories of these guys. Kenny says, "Tom, you use that machine. Let's try to walk." And you know, I was still really fucked up then. The legs hardly moved, and so they had one physio at the front, one physio behind me, and 2 students on each leg. And I still remember it was Thomas. He was on my left leg because my right side was the stronger side. Left side was just at that stage. The first time I walked, it was pretty much dead. So it was the 10 meters of the gym and 4 physios, and I stood up, and then, you know, got to the center, and we walked. And Tom, the one on the left leg, he had to pull my shoelaces because my leg wasn't working. And it was, and I made it. It was the first time I walked after being paralyzed. And then after, I was super happy. I was ecstatic. The students, they were doing high fives. They were jumping up and down. They were so happy, you know. I asked Barney for the video. He said that they don't have it anymore. So such a shame. So that was the first time I walked. I think I got discharged around middle of September, so it was probably around. It was around, you know, maybe the middle of August, because I walked 1 month before I got discharged. Now I make videos not to make people feel bad. Don't feel bad about it. Just look at my situation and think, hey, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Just use your mind. Use your mind to fight back, you know. Go, hey, if this kid, you know, if you're older, if this kid can do it, I can do it, you know. I got more knowledge. Come on.